Alright, guys, so once again, the notes for today are the equation of circles and volume of prism cylinders. Pay attention. So, I know the equation of circles, we talked about it yesterday. Right? It wasn't that difficult, but I wanted to be in the notes so we have a formula when we take our final in June. So, you guys will need it then, so I don't want you guys to forget. Also, if you guys are dealing with circles next year or the year after or whenever, if you guys want to go back and read your notes, go ahead and take a look at your notes. So yesterday this is what we talked about yesterday. So let's see. So we wrote the equation of a circle. So let's write this thing out. The equation of a circle. Yes. The equation of a circle centered at HK. I'm using letters because it could be anywhere. So the equation of a circle centered at HK with radius r is in the formula x minus h squared plus y minus k squared is equal to r squared. Once again, the equation of a circle centered at HK with radius r is in the format of x minus h squared plus y minus k squared is equal to r squared. Right? In the center, there's always a plus. And then I mentioned that inside of parentheses, you switch the sign. That's what I talked about yesterday. Let me show you guys an example. You don't have to write the example, but let me show you guys an example. One thing that we saw yesterday was the center at negative 10, 15. And the radius is 2. So this was given to us yesterday. And then the equation that I wrote was x plus 10 squared plus y minus 15 squared is equal to 4. I know I wrote down on the instruction I wrote x minus h, and then I write x plus 10. Because technically minus a negative, right, minus a negative 10, that's why I changed that to plus. So, and then y minus 15. And obviously 2 squared gave us 4. Because that's what we saw yesterday, so it was not that hard. Now for today, we're going to be looking at volume. Volume, what it is don't copy this picture, just for me to explain it. It's having a figure, in this case a cylinder. How much space do I need to fill it in? I know we talked about surface area. Like our classroom is a rectangular prism. Surface area is if we're going to paint the walls, ceiling and floor, how much paint do we need? Now volume is, let's say we're going to store something in here, how much room do we have inside? That's what we cover with volume. So you notice how water, if I'm going to fill it in with water, assuming water doesn't leak out, how much can I put in there? So for an example, I'm going to use prism. I have a little prism here with me. You guys can probably see it there. Let me turn this light off so I can see it better. So I have a rectangular prism. Right? It's the top and bottom are rectangles, everything else are rectangles. So top and bottom are the base. So it is a prism. So my base, for you guys to see it, it's a 3 by 4 cubes. So I'm going to see how many cubes, for volume of this thing, how many cubes do I have here? So it's a 3 by 4. How many cubes is there in one base? Well, so there's one base, I put it out. There's a second base. Obviously, we assume that's also 12. There's a third base. And there's a fourth base. So I have it in 4 bases. How many cubes do I have total? 48. You guys knew it was 12, the base. The area of the base was 12. How do you guys come up with the 48? 12 times 4, because there were 4 of us. So now, for volume of a prism and cylinder, we're going to say volume of prism or a cylinder is the area of the base times height. That's what you guys did. The area of the base times the height. Let me pass out the worksheet. Again, the area of the base, and base is not just a single number you guys will see there. It's a shape. So it could be a triangle, it could be a rectangle. It's a shape. Area of the base times height. Can I take this off? Alright, let's take a look at our worksheet. The instructions on the worksheet say, find the volume of each figure. So we're going to do volume. Round your answers to the nearest hundredths if necessary. So 2 decimal places. Leave your answer in terms of pi for answers that contain pi. So for room, let me take the instructions out. So remember, the volume is the area of the base times the height. That's going to be a formula. The base in this case, it's a hexagon. Now remember, for the area of the hexagon, I go 1/2 times the apothem, which is 10.4, times the perimeter. For me to find the perimeter, since each side is 12, there's 6 of them, I'm going to go 12 times 6. So all this is the area of the base. What I get from there, I'm going to multiply this by 12, which is the height. Remember, the 12 for the area of the base is there. Now the height is this other 12. Remember, I just went area of the base times height. When I multiply this out, you should get 4,492.8. Now for measurements, and for the units, remember how area is centimeters squared? So if I look at the area of the base is centimeters squared, the height is also centimeters. So centimeters squared times centimeters will give me centimeters cubed. So volume, that's why volume has to the third power. Area has to the second power, volume will have to the second power. If you forget the units, but only give me the number, I'll be okay with it. Like obviously in real life, don't forget units, but for a math class, or at least for my math class, I'll be okay with just the number. Alright, let's take a look at question number 2. Now number 2 is pretty similar. Let's take a look at question number 3. The volume is the area of the base times the height. The base is a circle. And I know the area of a circle, I need the radius, which is only from the center all the way up. How much is the radius? 10. So I know for the area of a circle is radius squared pi. So let me just call this 10 squared times pi. All this is the area of the base. Now I'm going to multiply this by 12, which is the height. Area of the base times the height. Leave pi as a pi, right? On the instruction it says leave terms of pi, leave pi as a pi. So I'm just going to go 10 squared times 12. How much is 10 squared times 12? 1,200. And then pi. I could leave pi as a pi. Alright, don't forget that 10 is 10 squared. Alright, that was not bad. Any questions? Yes. Number 4. Alright, looking at number 4, I can get this square right here, that's the base. And this 2 will be the height. So the area of a base, I know area of a rectangle, right? Square is a rectangle, is 5 times 5. That's the area of the base. The height is 2. So I'm just going to go 5 times 5 for the base times 2. You should have 50. But if you put the units, it's to the third. If you don't put units, I'll be okay with it. Yeah. Number 5? Sure. Looking at number 5, the base is a triangle. Remember, I should tell you guys, in a prism or cylinder, as soon as you see a shape that is not a rectangle, that's your base. So the base is a triangle. Looking at the 90 degrees, the two numbers across the 90 degrees are 3 and 4. So remember, for the triangle, I'm going to go 1/2 times 3 times 4. I have to do half on triangles. Not rectangles, but yes on triangles. So that's the area of the base. I'm going to multiply whatever I get from here, I'm going to multiply by 7, because that's the height. You guys get what? 42. The 5, this 5 out here, we did not use, right? For the area of a triangle, you're only looking at two numbers across the 90 degrees. That would be useful if we were looking for surface area. But for volume, we don't need that 5. Alright, so just as a big reminder, volume is the area of the base times the height. Any questions? 6? So volume is the area of the base times the height. The base, I'm going to do this base right here. It's an 11 by 3 rectangle. I know the area of a rectangle in this case is 11 times 3. There's no half, it's just 11 times 3. What's the height? 8. The 3 is part of the rectangle. Well, hold on, what was? Get it, Lacey? Yeah. Just as a little thing, Lacey, remember, there's two bases. Prism cylinders have two bases. The height is always the distance between the bases. Okay. So 11 times 3 is 33, times 8, 264. Okay, and Jose, you asked how come I didn't put half on this one?
Yeah.
Because the base on this one's a rectangle. On the other one, I think it was number 4 that I wanted to put a half, because that one was a triangle. Oh, no, number 5, I mean. That was a triangle, so that's why half on triangle. Okay. Any other questions? Number 9? Sure. Let's take a look at number 9. I marked this to be the base. So notice the base is a 4 by 4 rectangle. Right? It's a square, but it's a rectangle as well. So I know for the area of a square or a rectangle, in this case, I'm going to go 4 times 4. What's the height? 7. I know 4 times 4 is 16. How much is 16 times 7? 112. Remember, it is the area of the base, which, remember, base is the shape times the height. Simple? Any questions? Yeah, they 12? Alright, let's take a look at number 12. The base is a hexagon. I remember for the area of a hexagon, I'm going to go 1/2 times the apothem, which is 10.4. That is the apothem, times the perimeter. Now, since there's 6 sides, each side is 12, the perimeter is obtained by 12 times 6. So that's the area of the base. Remember, in prisms, there are 2 bases. The height is the number between the bases. So I'm going to multiply this by 11. My first parenthesis, bless you, is the area of the base. Right, 1/2 times apothem times perimeter. And then I'm going to multiply this by 11. Let me use my little cheat sheet right here. The answer is 4,118.4. Number 7? Sure. Looking at number 7. Let me take my cheat sheet away. So my rectangle, it's an 8x5 rectangle. So 8x5, that's the area of the base. Now the height is 7. So that's 40 times 7. Now notice that I use an 8x5 rectangle. If you guys were to use the little side one, 7x5, so your base will be 7 times 5. In your case, your height will be 8. 35 times 8 still gives you 2/8. So when you guys have rectangular prism, just get a rectangle to be the base, and you'll be fine. It doesn't matter which one you get. Number 11, you said?
Yeah,
Which?
number 10.
Oh, number 10?
Would it be 11 times 12 times 12?
Yes. Because that's your 11 by 12. The other 12 comes from there. So. Just one thing though. Do notice that on circles, question number 11, I'm giving you guys just the radius. Question number 13, I'm giving you guys the diameter. So sometimes I'll give you a radius, sometimes I'll give you a diameter. You need the radius. All right. Any questions? We're good? All right, let me take a little really quick.